recording. All right. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Um, we are trying a different audio because last time it was a little echoey. So we're gonna have my mom and grandma on one mic. I'll be on this mic. Also, our first podcast while I'm in Boston. So we'll see
And we're in Seville.
we'll see how this goes. Um, all right. So we're here with my grandma casserole, of course, and my mommy. All right. So I told my mom to come with a couple stories in her notes because I feel like oftentimes our family stories always start with remember when, and then we just kind of go off from there. So, I told my mom to bring a couple stories and we will chat it up.
I'd like to start with a prayer.
Oh, yes, let's do it.
Okay. Okay. Dear Lord, this podcast is not only about us and our family, but we're doing it for all the families out there who truly love one another like we do. And yet some struggle so hard, like ours does, through everyday life, which sometimes brings a lot of pain and sorrow and sickness, addictions, worries, just every day. There could be something as you age. And yet we trust always in you, Lord, because you're the only way to get through all of this life. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. Amen. All right, we got our digital frame up in the back. I already see an Alaska photo. All right. What's your first story, Mom? Let's hear it.
Oh, just a funny one. I always think of when it's fair time, which is coming up. Grandpa took me to the Medina County Fair back in the day, and there was a ride called the Zipper. And it
You
was
remember that,
basically
Grandma?
straight up and down, and the cars just went above, and you could swing it, and you can go upside down. I said, Dad, you want to, is it okay if I swing it? And he said, sure. And before we got on, I said, hey, you might want to empty your pockets out because people lose their change and stuff. And he goes, oh, come on, I don't need to do that. I said, oh, okay. So and then we swung, went backwards, and he laughed so hard. He wasn't expecting this ride to be quite so intense. And needless to say, all of his change was flying everywhere. His pipe fell out of his pocket, and he reached and grabbed that before, I'm not sure if it would have gone through or not, but there were a lot of kids underneath the ride running for his money. So it was hilarious.
How
So,
long did Grandpa smoke a pipe?
Yeah, we went through phases all the time.
I kind of like that vibe.
oh, I love the pipe with the
Yeah,
cherry.
yeah,
Yeah.
He smoked cherry?
yeah. It smelled good when he smoked it.
Yum.
I never knew Grandpa to smoke cigarettes, I don't think at all. It was just pipe and chewing tobacco when I was alive.
Really? We both smoke cigarettes too.
I don't remember him smoking
Maybe.
ever in my lifetime, except for pipe.
I
Did you go to the fair, Grandma?
probably was there. Yeah, I would think so.
I don't know. And then Dad took me to the Ohio State Fair. That was a big deal. That was just him and I. He bought me
Hmm.
that heart ring with the beveled out little sparkly things. I don't know what I did with it, but I just was in heaven. So
Was it like, because you remember our fair days, was it like meet up with your friends? Was it you go with your family? Like, what
I
was the
was
vibe?
young enough where I think we just moved out here as I didn't really know anybody. So it was not to meet up with friends. If anybody, it would have been Aunt Lisa, but I'm not sure we were that close yet. So
I love that. Um, I was gonna say, because our fair days, I wasn't getting in trouble. Maybe Jake was, but
yeah.
The fair's coming up too.
I know.
We might have to go to the rodeo this time.
Yeah, for sure.
how was the rodeo?
It was our first rodeo. Coincidentally.
For
The
both of
one the end of this month will not be our first rodeo.
us.
Well, yeah, because that's the big one in Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Take a road trip.
Uncle Brad's
Well,
bringing
was
us
this road,
free.
was your first rodeo everything you dreamed of?
No,
Your
No.
mother disappointed with the first guy that came out of the
that
gate.
and the cows that they tackle and tie their feet and stuff. I just felt bad for them.
The little calves.
You said
But
someone got their face smashed
the
into.
very first rodeo experience we had was a bucking bronco coming out of the gate and smashing someone's head 3 times. Yes. Mhm.
The horse smacked
Yes.
the cowboy's head.
Yeah, he got
Yeah.
stuck in the stirrup and
See, that's why I'm
Your
like,
mother goes, I don't think I like rodeos. Immediately, wow.
that's why I'm like, I do not want to mess with animals. That Africa trip is scaring me.
oh yeah, yeah, we'll see.
I'm not getting in no boats with hippos, that's for sure.
I hope the hippo isn't in the boat.
Well, not in hippo infested waters,
Yeah,
that's for
we'll see.
sure. Well, what's your next story?
My next story. Oh, my first spanking. Remember that on East 85th?
We did spank
I
occasionally.
got spanked once. I was in kindergarten
Right.
What's
and
East 85th?
Garfield Heights,
That's where
the
Okay.
we,
house I was born in. And my friend Mimi lived on East 86th. So it was a whole road over, which is
I've
not.
never heard about your friend Mimi.
yeah.
We roller skated for hours at her house. That's when my roller skating days started, and hours. Somewhere between 3 and 5 hours. And Grandma and Grandpa had no idea where I was. So finally, Grandpa found me. I don't know, probably just started driving up and down the roads, and I genuinely knew I did wrong because he was very worried, and I got a spanking that day. And then he apologized later on. I said, "It's okay," And then as an adult and as a mother myself now, I thought, "Oh my gosh, that would have been terrifying."
Oh, so it was related to the roller skating.
Yeah, we just roller skated all day
She
without
forgot what time
nobody
it
knew
was.
where I was,
Yeah,
so
we
that was
couldn't
the
find
problem.
her.
So there was a manhunt out for me, I guess, on that day.
Well, I feel like that was a kind of a theme with you. It's like you worried grandma and grandpa. You're always out doing stuff.
Yeah, fast forward to when I was 22 years old, and I got kicked out of the house on December 13th, 12 days before Christmas, the 12 days of Christmas. That was actually one of my stories because Grandma said, if you stay out one more time, so I'd stayed out twice without letting them know where I was or anything. And she said, if you stay out one more time, saving your friend Maria, who was always needing me, which
Yeah,
was a
in trouble.
complete
Poor
farce.
Maria.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Poor Maria.
whoever that was.
Then I'm going to kick you out because Dad's physically ill. I can't do
That
it.
was after his heart surgery,
Yeah, maybe
I
the
believe.
third time.
Just physically ill with worry or like actually,
He probably had
He was under
GI
stress.
symptoms.
Yeah,
He
he
worked
was.
a ton, didn't need the aggravation of that. So anyhow, I did it again. I think I just needed to spread my wings and get kicked out, because that she kicked me out. And then Grandpa was actually upset.
Not him so much. Father Euler, who
oh
I
yeah,
told
grandma
about.
did tell me this. Tell
Yeah, when I got there the next day and said Meg just crossed the line, and we had to
I sure did.
lay down I mean, all the threats. You can only say over and over again. This is,
No more idle
yeah,
threats.
no more of that. So it was just time to teach her a really hard lesson in life. And I felt bad deep down, and I wondered where she'd go. But you did go to Brian and
Went to
Lisa's,
Vern Meyer's house.
or did you for a while?
And then Uncle Brian found out, or Brian
Yeah,
found out I was at Vern's house and called me and said,
who's Vern?
an old
an
friend
old
who's passed
party.
away.
Everybody
Yeah,
went to Vern's to party. Nobody,
Okay.
nobody really trusted him 100%.
no,
Yeah.
yeah, too
So
many
Uncle Brian
parties.
said, come live with me now, pack your stuff up, which was not a lot. And then we found out Aunt Lisa was pregnant with Jesse, and I stayed out late the one night, and I, woke Lisa up when I got back, and he yelled at me, and I said, you know what, this is crap. I'm out. So that's when I got the apartment with Carla in North Royalton, the Vineyards, it was called.
So you were born in Garfield Heights,
It was Broadview Heights, my bad.
Broadview Heights on East
No, she was
85th.
born in
No,
Garfield Heights.
Broadview is where the vineyard was. I
Right.
was born
Oh,
in Garfield.
My
Yeah, sorry.
after three sons, we finally got our baby girl. We were, and that was one of the happiest days in our life. We were so
No,
happy.
no.
Even the doctor that delivered you was
Finally.
like, it's a girl, it's a girl. He was so excited too. I mean, we were all like ready to clap our hands. Maybe
you
not
didn't
me
know the
so much.
gender?
No, we didn't know at that time.
No.
We had no clue, no clue. But yeah, um, just having a girl was something else for Grandpa too. I think it really it just hit him, like finally a
I
little.
mean, after three boys, yeah, that's,
Yeah.
you're thinking, how many boys am I gonna have?
And
So,
then
go
and
ahead.
then you too, this is my baby girl and you're her baby
No,
girl. And I watched you being born. And that
and
was
Olivia.
the only time I saw a baby being
I
born.
still live.
No, I wasn't there
You were
right
up
up.
half passed out on the chair beside me.
Mom
Yeah,
said
but
your head was
I
in between
went
your
home, I
knees.
think, when she finally was born because it was
It was a long
thanks. I
time.
was getting ready for Thanksgiving the
That's
next
right.
morning.
She was born at, she was,
And you thought Liv was ugly.
No, I didn't say that. I said she'll shape up.
that's a really
Something
nice
like that.
And you,
grandmotherly way of saying you're
But
ugly.
when I just saw that little face, I just said, oh my God,
Now
she's
that's what a
beautiful.
beautiful baby looks like. Is exactly what
Yeah.
you said.
I didn't say it that way, did I?
Something
I
like
said
that.
she is so beautiful. You
what about
just
Jake?
I don't remember
He
Jake so
shaped up.
much. Yeah. He was cute. I worried more about Jake when he was little and you were tiny,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, taking you home from the hospital with Jacob waiting. That
Yeah,
kind of
we got
worried
him.
me
We got
because
him
he
a
was
doll
ornery
to prepare him. We got him that doll that he brought out
to get
and
him
had black
stomped.
magic marker permanent all over its face and body.
Well,
What that
some things never change because I woke up with Dijon mustard on my face. I've woken up with ranch in my hair. I've woken up.
That's Landon too.
That was all Jake.
It's all Jake.
Landon and Jake threw stink bugs on me in the RV
I know that because you screamed bloody murder and we were about ready to pull over.
and dropped them off, hopefully.
That's what big brothers
You
do. I
drop
guess.
them off.
Well, I realized later it was pieces of pepperoni. It was not even stink bugs.
Oh,
So there's pepperoni in that storm.
there's pepperoni in the storm.
So born in Garfield Heights, then did you move? Or was
Yes.
it up until
How old was I when we went out to? Oh, I was.
Trying to think
It
what
was
year.
77, so I was 8. So
So
I
it was
was
pretty little,
third
yeah.
grade. I was starting. I
I
think
thought you
we.
were younger than
No,
that. No, you were
I
younger than that.
I was born in 69 and it was 87 or
It's
77.
77. So you were,
8.
8?
why do I have pictures of you on the stairway when you were little? When you had a little,
Are we talking about Homerville?
no, no, this was
I
the
was there till I
steps
was
in
8.
Garfield Heights.
Yeah, Garfield Heights still shoes 8.
But how old were you when we moved there?
8. Oh,
No,
to Garfield, I was born
you
there.
were born there.
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't move, Mom. We're back. We're going to
I was like,
we're going to Homerville.
sorry. Okay. Yeah, we're in Homerville first, so that's bass backwards, as my father used to say.
Bass backwards.
Yeah.
So I lived in Homerville from 8, blizzard of 77, we moved, blizzard of 78, and then I moved, I was kicked out when I was 22.
Okay. So your first spanking was pre 8 years old.
It was when I was 5. I was in kindergarten.
I would probably spank you too for riding around.
Exactly.
I thought you were like 12 or something.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't really know any better then. I knew better fast forward to 22. So
When did you stop rollerblading?
it was just roller skating. I
Oh,
never
Okay.
stopped. We skated, me and Aunt Lisa skated every
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, whenever
Took
we
after
could.
her mother,
Starlight Triple T.
who
Yes,
also was a roller skater.
grandma had full precision skates, and
Yeah.
I got full precision skates, which is a
The
big
only
deal.
way to go.
They're very
Yep.
smooth.
is Starlight Triple T the roller rink?
Yes, in the Grange.
Yeah, where they also got in trouble occasionally.
One time.
I was gonna say from like 8 to 22, are there any other big stories where you remember like getting in trouble or just a Homerville story?
No,
Homerville story. Remember when you were mopping the floor in the laundry room?
you were,
That you had that we had a side door onto our patio that had double pane glass in it, and Grandma was mopping, and I that door as opposed to the other door, which was on the flip side of the house, was maybe what 20 feet, 25 feet away. I didn't want to go to the other door. I
How
said,
old were you?
let me in here. And so we moved when I was
probably a
8, so probably
teenager.
12, 13, 13, 14.
Yeah.
She said, I'm mopping. And I could hear her, it's just a window. And I said, let me in. And she said, no, go
The
around
floor
to the
was wet.
door.
The floor was,
And I punched right through the both glass and I unlocked the door and I don't know what my punishment was then. You probably,
I see, I always thought that was connected to you getting kicked out.
no,
no, that
no,
was
no.
yours
That was
different.
another time her temper got hold of her.
Yes, it was only that one
She
time.
was kind of ornery when I think about it.
Do you remember when she punched through the glass or no?
Hey,
She was standing right there.
I know, I was standing right there.
I don't
I
remember any
couldn't believe
punishment.
it, I guess. I don't even
She
remember
probably
what
blocked
happened.
us for
Yeah, I probably
something.
went out and hit her with the mop or something.
Probably blocked that memory out.
Probably said, clean up this glass. I'm going to leave for a while.
No, I doubt that.
I don't remember any punishment from that though, which it should have been a hefty one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like dad would have, like my dad, would have been the one to, even if you were standing right there, I feel like you would have been like, Tom, come handle this.
Yes.
But she did some good things.
I did a couple of
She
good things.
played the trumpet so well and
First
just,
chair.
yeah, just excelled at it. I was always so proud to go out to it.
Grandma just ran across a video of me and my grandpa.
He played the accordion, my dad.
Yeah,
Grandpa Rudy.
Yeah.
she heard on there, you can explain the story.
It was, we were sending
Thanksgiving or
on
something.
Thanksgiving, the whole family was together and Aunt Teresa and Uncle Mark were in Florida. They think they were married by then. Anyway, we were sending them a tape recording. Remember, I mentioned that last time that
Yeah.
we did have, and I came across it, and there's all these little voices, the kids all saying, "Hi, Uncle Mark. Hi, Aunt Teresa. I'm going to play this for you." So they were playing Christmas songs. They were singing Christmas carols. I think
Who's they? Just the family?
the family, all
Oh.
the kids,
But what
yeah,
what
taking
did we
taking
play?
turns to say hello and stuff like that. They're
And
on the
Carol is on it.
and
So
their
that
roses are red, violets are blue. Yeah,
I need to hear Carol's voice.
Carol's on it. My dad's on it, who I haven't heard it. My mother's on it, who I haven't heard her voice. I mean, everything. It's just, yeah, I got choked up listening to it. So we'll have to play that one time.
This is why
But
this is so cool because we're always
yeah,
gonna have our voices.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah.
so did you find the cassette tapes?
No, not the other one.
Oh,
This one I
What? This
found.
one's up there.
But this one is precious. It really is in a lot of ways because she's playing the trumpet. She's singing uh, like a duet with the other
Oh dear.
kids.
It was
what was
rehearsal.
the little show you, Uncle Brad and Uncle Brian did on tapes that,
It was Uncle
Oh,
Brad and Diane. It was the Brady kids.
oh, the
yeah,
Brady
You've
kids.
got to run across one of them. My kids have to hear that.
I know. I have no
They're
idea.
somewhere.
What was the premise of the Brady kids?
They
Just
tortured their babysitter. Fun times. Yeah, they used to.
They made up,
they made up a babysitter though.
yeah.
It
Yes,
wasn't actually.
no things to do to her. Like they talk like they're underwater. Like what can we do to her today? I don't know. Let's tie her up, put her in the bedroom. I mean, it's hilarious.
They were pretty funny.
Hilarious.
Yeah. I think everybody in the family's got a little bit of ham in them. They want to do their thing and
Yeah.
show off. But I think that stemmed from my dad, Auntie Ellen, the music.
Artists. Yeah.
Yeah, that they just wanted to share it with
I mean, I was a
everybody.
trapeze artist, remember?
Well, yeah,
Who?
and so was I when I was younger.
Yes, the
Who?
trapeze in the backyard. We ran across a picture of Uncle Brad putting the trapeze up in our backyard in
Who
Homerville.
was
And
the trapeze artist?
me, Cheryl, and Carol, of course.
Yeah.
Oh,
We practiced for hours. We did shows for the family. We thought we were it. Next was,
And I taught them a lot of the tricks because
Mhm.
when I was younger, my friend had a huge trapeze in her backyard on the west side of Cleveland. And
what?
her aunt was in the circus and she was a trapeze artist. That's why that was there. And her aunt lived with them. So she was teaching us all kinds of things to do on the trapeze.
Were you guys like actually throwing each other or what?
Not that we would hold each other, and
Yeah.
swing back and forth. We didn't get too, but you could. I mean, we learned a lot of tricks, and I was
Yeah.
trying to show you a lot of them. How to lock your legs around, and
Yeah, when you put your
yeah,
hands in between and fall and
put your leg in and out.
What?
Yeah, it was
as you were
cool.
swinging, I'm
Oh
really,
gosh, look at that
you
picture
don't
in the
have
back.
TBIs, honestly.
No, because I told you how to be safe on the trapeze. I
But
did
we
teach
we
them
ran
that.
across a picture of Uncle Brad on top of the tree, and Grandma said he's putting in the trapeze, and I said,
Yeah,
wow,
he was the fixer
yeah.
guy. Always was, even when he was little.
Was Uncle
Just,
Brian ever like a handyman or was he all business?
More
uh,
now than he was then.
yeah, yeah. He's comes in handy.
Of course, of course. Um, oh, what was I gonna ask? Trapeze is great. Oh, I was gonna say, I feel like we're all showmen. We had Grandpa Rudy with the accordion. Who else played the
Hmm.
accordion?
Uncle Eddie, Uncle Lottie.
Yeah, all his brothers tried. Of course, my dad didn't think they were quite as accomplished as he was because
He taught himself too.
he taught himself. His mother couldn't stand the noise of an accordion. And yet he found this accordion that was up in the attic, and that's where he had to play and learn his accordion all by himself. And then many years later, when my sister Ellen took piano, another very good musician she was, she taught him how to read music.
Hmm.
And that was the first time he like opened up
Did she?
everything on his accordion. And they used to go downtown and
Mm.
go to the music stands and pick out the music that they wanted to take home. They had a lot of sheet music, I remember.
That's so awesome.
Did she
Yeah.
teach herself piano too?
No,
Did she
she
ever?
learned from the nuns, one nun, our organist at church. I can't remember her
Hmm,
name,
that's okay.
but she'd go to the convent, which was up the street from us, for her piano lessons.
Hmm.
So that was
Yeah.
your dad and your sister?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Grandma, or just Aunt Ellen went there, right?
And I went for 2 lessons, and they were so strict. I mean, like you had to hold your hands a certain way on the piano, and I was like, I tried, but then I said to my mom, "Do I have to go back to?"
Hey, I only made it to Old McDonald and then I quit. So
I
So
did what's that one?
I
Dun,
knew
dun,
the
dun, 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 dun,
anyway. We had the
dun.
basic
Mm-hmm.
piano. We all knew like the first book, I think, how to play it,
Yes. That's
but
then
cool.
we've
not too
got
hard.
trapeze artists, we've got majorettes. My mom split time
Right. Oh
between the
my
trumpet and
gosh.
the baton.
She twirled with fire.
I did.
I was so excited. I loved it because I used to play with the baton when I was younger, but I never actually got accomplished like she was.
And my cousin Carol, who passed away in 88, was
Yeah.
actually better
And she
than
taught
me.
herself, you
Yeah,
Yeah.
know.
she was very good.
There's videos of my mom with flaming batons at like our 4th of July parties.
That was the one
Wow.
time I really impressed Grandpa Sir Lewis.
That was
He,
the one time.
well, that he audibly said, "Wow, that was cool."
That's
So
cool.
I knew I was in then.
I think that same 4th of July party, there's a video of Uncle David playing the trumpet and Jake sticking his ear in the horn.
Oh,
He's like trying to stick his face in the horn, and everyone's like, get out of there. Like he's trying to play the
That
trumpet.
would be Jake, huh?
That might be the same one where we have our famous picture with my red, white, and blue hat
Oh, I
on.
love that photo.
I think that's the same for us.
Do you want to talk about Carol?
Sure.
All
Yeah.
right.
She was named after me, but they
Absolutely.
spelled it different. It was Caryl.
Because that's from her twin sister,
Right. Cheryl,
Cheryl, who is
who's
CHL.
YL.
right. Right. But I was her godmother.
And
Yeah.
that was my mommy's best friend.
Yeah.
She
Well,
was
her
my
and
closest
Cheryl.
cousin. Cheryl and I weren't close
Not
then. I
for,
mean, she
yeah.
even admitted we were terrible to Cheryl. Sorry,
So did
Cheryl.
you and
They
Carol
picked on
find
Cheryl.
the baton together? Did Carol introduce you to the baton? Like, how did
Oh,
that
I
all?
was a majorette first, and then
Yeah.
she just became one and was better. That's all.
How much younger was she than
Yeah,
you?
I was gonna say.
They were born in 72, I want to say. So Cheryl just
Oh,
turned 54. No, she's double nickels, I thought she said. 71. She's going to kill me, but
She's still younger than your mother.
yeah, a couple years.
yeah. Um, did you guys both all go to Black River?
They went to Mapleton.
Okay.
And
Cheryl and
the
Carol.
head majorette was Chris uh, Callahan, which was Kip Callahan, Debbie's late husband's sister. And
Ah,
that's where Carol learned all her
It's all connected.
at
Chris
Mapleton, she was the head
at
major.
Mapleton. Yeah,
Yeah.
she wanted to be just like Chris, and boy, she probably would have been
Yeah.
better had she not been hit by a train.
Yeah.
I
Well, we'll get
remember
to
her
that.
giving a show. I think it was somewhere in Ashland in a park in like a what you call it? The stage was down below and we kind of sat and she did. I mean, she put on a show and there were quite a few people
Who?
there. Carol.
Oh, geez, I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
she, just put music on and and twirled and spun around. And
Another showman, I guess.
I mean, I was so impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was.
And she looked so good. We had a nice picture of her too with her
Teresa probably still
majorette.
has it. Yeah,
I have one upstairs, I think.
it
That
was
is
red,
cool.
red,
Like
white,
then
and
you
Yeah.
had a bunch of gymnast granddaughters. That's a
Yeah.
show.
Oh, yeah.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
Jake's
yeah.
musically inclined.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Football for
Um,
Yeah.
basketball, soccer.
Sports were a big thing in the family for
Yeah,
everybody in one way
Brian.
or another.
so
Brad used to play, well, he was even helping football coach member at Black River. It was, yeah, oh, wonderful, really. We were very involved, especially at that time.
Yeah.
did did Carol get to perform like with Mapleton High School or middle
Oh,
school?
all the time. She
Okay.
was the only majorette. She like, as I recall, she was,
I'm trying to think 16, I was only a sophomore and that's
She's
when
a
she
sophomore
died.
when she
So
died, yeah, pretty sure.
yeah, she just got her driver's license. She didn't have it very long. We
From
were
June to
saying how
February.
what a
Yeah.
good driver she was, she really was
Mm-hmm.
um,
mhm.
just took it by stride and um, yeah,
And that was in Ashland County, right? Where
right, right,
I believe
So
I have the railroad tracks written somewhere, but
CSX. Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, CSX,
So you're kind of like approaching it on a hill and it's like double tracks, right?
yeah. Did,
Um,
they didn't have, did they
No,
have,
no lights,
there were no lights and
just a stop sign.
from
right,
there was
right,
just a stop sign and then from the newspaper photo you can see the snow was plowed over the sign.
hmm
So there
Over the
wasn't
stop sign?
I don't know if it was over the stop sign, but you can see like there's a huge snowbank kind of blocking the view of the
So
track.
yeah,
because you just did research on this whole accident, yeah.
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 Yeah, so she came up on the hill and
She's
started,
driving to her boyfriend's house.
yeah, there's someone
Her prom date to
was
be,
Okay.
probably going to ask her to prom, Jason, and her rear passenger tire, if I'm not mistaken, gets stuck in a rut and she couldn't get out and the train came at her. So,
there was
Yeah.
some evidence that she was trying to get out.
yeah. I think
Yeah.
they came to the conclusion her door was partly open. I want to say there was one shoe in the car.
Yeah.
That's pretty rough.
And
Pretty
that
rough.
was rough because
And
even like just her, I'll say boyfriend for lack of a better term, but had warned her about those tracks and how dangerous they were.
You say it was his uncle that had died years prior to, so he gave her
Oh,
directions specifically to avoid it because of that.
I
And
didn't even know that.
she got mixed up in her directions, we're assuming.
Yeah.
So,
And we kind of like just inferred that she was probably one to have her music cranked like we all are. And
yeah.
so, yeah. But you still have her majorette bag downstairs.
Yes, I had her um, grape bubble yum. There were two or three pieces left in it. Kind of opened some juicy fruit. A I forget what they called detentions at Mapleton, but it was a detention slip from 88. Maybe she hadn't served it yet. I don't know. But and then you guys were playing in the crawl space years later, and Jake came up and said, "That gum down there was gross." And I said,
he
"You
opened
did
it.
not eat."
He ate it.
I said, "At that
Mhm.
point, that gum 20 years ago was like 20 years old, almost 20 years old. It was disgusting." So,
Yikes.
but I still have the wrapper, I think, in there. So,
Yeah. Well,
and
I
it was,
like her bag. I mean, I was just in the attic digging for my own stuff, but it's like a nice ruby red, sparkly
yeah, Mapleton's
baton
colors
bag.
were definitely, I think, red, white, and blue. Oh,
So were you in your band outfit or your majorette outfit when you,
both. Well, not both. My
I was gonna
majorette
say
outfit.
same
When
halftime.
I would, well, for the whole halftime show, I wouldn't have the trumpet because I was twirling. But sometimes when they needed me to do a solo or something, I think I just played it with my
With your,
majorette outfit.
yeah,
Oh, cool.
So,
Because
yeah.
I've seen like at Highland, some people do the flags and then they run and get their instrument and then they play the other part on their instrument. So
yeah, I definitely did that a few times, but it was always the majorette outfit I stayed with rather than switching back and forth.
How many majorettes were there?
Three or four, depending, and we did it all 4 years. So
And you were the best.
no, I was never head majorette. Christina Parks, Christina, my friend, and Nancy was the head majorette when we first got there.
How
Did you
many
guys
of there
do flames then too?
were?
I believe so.
Mm-hmm.
That's very Black River.
Yes.
Flame throwing.
Imagine not being able to wear hairspray. That was really tough on me.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that.
I probably put a little bit in just because
Hazard.
I didn't care, but I should
I
have.
Well,
remember Carol spraying her
I
face.
was
Yes,
just
we talked
going to
about it.
say that. I said Carol was ahead of the times with makeup setting
Setting
spray because
spray.
what I have heard from Carol is that she sprayed her face with hairspray to keep that on.
Remember that little vanity? Where was it? In the dining room in the corner or somewhere?
Where their trailer?
No, in our house when
I
she was
love that
getting
story. That's so funny.
somebody was coming over, you guys were getting ready to go out or
Probably up in my
something.
bedroom.
And I was like, what are you doing? Oh my gosh.
Set her makeup.
Yeah. She
And her
looked
vanity was probably
adorable all the time.
caked
Yeah.
with
Oh, yeah.
hairspray.
Like, yeah, mine is now too. Probably Aquanet. That's all the hairspray was.
That is so funny. I was going through old photos for Liv's bachelorette party and I found beautiful. My mom's hair was so voluminous.
Yes, definitely was.
I
That's
loved it.
Aunt Lori gave me a spiral perm, and used 2 packs because it was so thick, and it's been curly ever since.
I love that.
I mean, really curly.
No, that's cool. Grandma, do you have a memory of Carol that sticks out? Carol and Cheryl?
Yeah, I guess when they were first born, that was really exciting, twins. After Ellen already had Dean and Diane twins,
I was
and
gonna
then
say we have a couple seconds.
yeah, yeah. And I think they were paternal, so they
Fraternal.
fraternal, yeah, from the father, Patrick.
Fraternal just means they're not identical.
Anyway,
Well, that was my next question. Did they look, well, you kind of answered it with
Could not
no,
fraternal.
have been more
no.
opposite.
Dean and Diane were opposite, and so were Cheryl and Carol. Dark hair and blonde
Honestly, you
hair,
couldn't even tell they
both
were
of them.
sisters.
I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Carol.
Hmm.
We got to find one now.
Yeah, I can go find her majorette picture.
Text Teresa too. And
Yeah.
she's got that one. But Cheryl was the color blue. No, red. Carol was the color blue. And they had these on their door in
Right.
their trailer, which was a huge modular home. They had a rainbow and something else. They had all these stickers on there. I just remember it being so cool.
So did they live in like a trailer park situation?
No.
They had their
Oh,
own land.
Yeah, they had their own little, I don't know, an acre or two, I think it was, and
It
they
seemed like a
had,
really big trailer, but it probably isn't if we went in there
I was
today.
gonna
yeah,
say, what's the trailer that you're talking about then? The door.
it was like a home. Yeah, I mean, a modular home
Modular home.
is what it was at that
Yeah, it
time.
wasn't a trailer.
Yeah, what they could afford. But it was really
Pretty
nice.
decorated,
Yeah,
so cute. And yeah, it was very nice.
yeah.
So who are Cheryl and Carol's parents? I know I'm messing up this family tree, but I want
Mhm. Jim Coon and my sister Ellen.
to. Okay,
Right.
it's all making sense.
Coon Coon. Yeah,
One
so
day I'll get it
Carol and
straight, but
Carol
I gotta
Coon.
keep asking so I can connect the dots.
Liv just asked me the same thing.
Somewhere I had a picture too, because I made them two Raggedy Ann dolls. I remember that when they were, or was it Dean and Diane? My gosh.
I was born. Yes, I was born.
The twins were, well, Dean and Diane were born on Brian's birthday, a year exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. I
cool.
mean, Brian was born on their birthday,
Yes.
exactly a year later, I should say, because they were a year older than him. But yeah,
So
so
did your sister have any other children? Cheryl, Carol, and
gosh, my sister had a lot of children. She
oh,
was married,
Bobby, right?
right? She was
Yep.
married to Dick Jones, and she had Debbie, Donna, Dean, and Diane. And then,
Oh, so she had the two sets of twins.
right,
Yes.
with two different husbands.
Okay.
Two different husbands.
Right. And then she married Uncle Jim, who was divorced, I believe.
I would hope so.
No, I was trying to think of the circumstances, but anyway, yeah, he had a son, Lowell Coon, who actually needs some prayers now if I think about Lowell, because he's been having a rough time. He has cancer. Um, and then she had Dean and Diane, and
No,
no, wait a minute, she
Bob.
has Bobby, and then Cheryl and Carol.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how many kids is that? Including,
8 if you include.
yeah, Lowell,
Well,
who was,
Wow.
Uncle Jim's name was actually Lowell too, Lowell James, I
L,
believe.
like, how do you spell that?
Lowell.
Oh, that is a city in Massachusetts that I drive through.
no way.
Son of a gun. Now you know what to think of when you go through there.
Yep. I was actually just at the Lowell Court.
Hmm,
Oh, wow.
Um, that's cool.
yeah. He
And
had
then, so
interesting
how much
people.
older were Dean and Diane than Cheryl and Carol?
Oh,
They're a year older than Brian. They were born in 61,
right.
and they were 72, I think, is when they were born.
Okay.
So 11 years.
Quite a few
Yeah,
years.
she had them pretty close too.
But with 8 kids, it's not too far apart,
No.
clearly.
And you know what? She handled them all pretty good. She was always sewing and making things for them, and um anybody who needed something sewed or fixed or something, we'd go to Ellen, you know. She
Hmm.
was crafty. She made just even this simple, I mean, I've got stuff around like this
That's
that
Aunt Ellen?
Aunt
Yep.
Ellen
Oh my
painted.
gosh. That napkin
Yes,
holder's been there since the
right.
beginning
That's
of
why
time.
it's there.
Oh,
That's
I
why.
see. E something C.
Yeah.
Ellen Rose Kuhn, ERC.
ERC, she would put on her
I like
artwork.
that.
I have art on the basement. I had, oh, up there is the cutting board that's got flowers on it. So she was quite artistic in many ways. So was
Yeah.
my father. We had art in our
And then
family.
Jean lost with me, except I could play the trumpet. That was
Right.
nothing.
And
I
me too.
have,
He usually didn't do anything.
As Brian, Brian's not really art,
He used to
art
try.
history.
He used to try. Him and Brad would sit and
Brad was probably better than Brian, but
try to copy some of the old pictures and drawings that were around.
I have Grandpa Rudy's drawings right there.
Do you really?
Should I grab
Yeah.
them?
sure.
I love that we have those still, and that anyone who takes them are sending me duplicates of them, or at least taking pictures so we can keep them forever. Oh, that's Auntie Ellen's drawing, honey.
Well, I have some, yeah. Says Faye Anderson model. Or Faye Andrews, I meant.
Huh.
Yes, it says E Novak.
Yeah, that's Auntie Ellen.
Okay, well, I have some more. Hold on. This one
She
says
would
Rudy.
do the pinup girls and the
This
queen.
one says Rudy.
That's my dad, and that's a very early one that my dad did. He was probably pretty young when he did that.
And then I have his when he was a drawing student.
Right, he did go to art school in Cleveland Art School. Right.
And I never knew that either.
Yeah, he did. Not for too long. I don't think they could afford it, but he did manage to go for a while. And his
January.
brothers
Oh,
were also very artistic. I found out when Uncle Eddie passed away, they had like a gallery of his pictures.
I didn't know that.
He was really, really good artist too.
Hmm.
it says June 17th, 1928.
Wow.
Right.
And then it says his address was 353
Union Avenue?
80th something in
80th, yeah,
Cleveland.
right. Yeah,
98 years old.
yeah.
So that's
Well,
almost
he was
100 years
born in
old.
1910.
But that's almost 100 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's insane. So he was 18 when he went to art
I
school.
know. Did you make me a copy of those?
Probably because I don't think you let me leave your house without making copies.
I don't know. I don't know if I got them. I'll have to check down there.
But I
In
will.
the
I
old trunk.
love that trunk downstairs.
That trunk was my father's when he was in CCC camp, I believe they called
What's
it.
that?
It was kind of what guys did instead of going in the army. You had a choice. It was like working for the government. I remember seeing all the stories when we were up in the mountains, and I saw a duplicate almost of his trunk and stories about the CC. I think it was CCC or the CC workers. But yeah, that trunk traveled a lot of miles with my dad. And what they did was work on the roads and the highways and clear, areas that needed just to help the country in a way while the other guys were serving the country. I don't understand if he was too young to go or why I don't.
Is that when he was jumping trains and stuff?
No, this is what he did. He served a couple
Okay.
years in this camp. There's a picture of him somewhere too,
Hmm.
with all these workers,
What's
all
the
these young
jumping
guys.
train story?
The what?
What's the
Jumping
jumping
train.
the train story?
Oh no, that's I wish, which is why I'm glad we're doing this because I wish we could have did this with him. He was a storyteller.
He
When
really
he
was.
told his stories about his youth and yeah, he used to jump the trains, and get off and on. And he just had so many good stories. Yeah. And this was when it was a rough time in the States and families didn't have enough to eat. There was all kinds of stuff going on. Probably in 1920, I think he was only about 17 or 18 when he
1926.
decided to just leave home because there wasn't a lot of food at home. He just
Yeah.
wanted to go. Also, he had this spirit of adventure that I think he put in my heart too, because that's why I wanted to see some of the world.
Yeah.
But he
Art
jumped
school's a
trains.
cool choice at 18, you know?
Yeah. He went all the way out west. He was at a movie studio. He said went in front of it with his cowboy hat on, which he wore a cowboy hat. They were very practical because you could sleep on it, you could drink out of it. There were all kinds of things he said he did with that hat. He ate rattlesnake in the desert. I remember him talking about that. Yeah, he got out to California and was in front of a movie studio, and someone thought he was Randolph Scott, who at that time was a big
Wow.
Western star. Yeah, he had so many stories. I could,
That's so fun.
trying to recall some of them is amazing because I was even as a kid, I always loved his stories. I would
Yeah.
just listen to him, you
Did he
know.
want to be in movies? Like, did he go out west to like pursue?
No, he went out west. His brother Frank and his sister-in-law were, let me think now. No, it was his brother John who was out there. And John was like a magician. He would eat, well, put
Eat fire.
flames in
Yeah.
his mouth and sword swallow and
We
all that
need to
stuff.
start a circus for real.
That's trapeze. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was trying to make it somehow into showbiz in the
Yeah.
way he was going about it. But he died young. Yeah, I never knew Uncle Johnny, but I heard about him. So his story still is going on. John Novak. You
Did
met
he
his
die of like a
son.
I was gonna say in Canada.
Yeah, his son John ended up in school with Grandpa. They were in the same grade at South High.
did did he die like doing a trick or was it
I'm not sure. I think it was just cancer or something. He just died young, and we thought Grandpa used to say it was putting all those flames in his throat because you
yeah.
had to coat your throat with something.
Yeah.
In those days they did it all the hard way and the wrong
Yeah.
way probably, just to try to make it big. Yeah, but he went there. Then he went from going out west. He went down to Georgia on their way back, hopping trains again. And his sister
So that's how he
rode,
made it out west was the train.
right. Yeah. And from all the way from west, he came again
So crazy.
east and he ended up in Georgia, southeast. And his sister Rose was married. Let me see. I want to get this straight. She was married. I think he was a Zabosnik, but that was Grandpa's sister
What's
who
this?
was married. That was her last his
Oh,
her married name then.
gotcha.
Um, and she was there, and he was a, oh, what do you call it? A lumberjack out there. He cut down huge trees. Yeah, and my dad helped do that for a while to make some money, was lumberjacking in
Yeah.
Georgia.
Huh.
Oh my gosh.
Somehow
It's
he
so,
made it all the way back.
well, I was gonna say, it's so crazy how many things have to happen for like all of us to be here. And it's like he was jumping
Really?
trains and could have met
Really?
anybody. And
Could
it's,
have
yeah,
gone anywhere.
Yeah. He actually dated, I think it was Aunt Rachel first before he dated my mother,
That's her sister.
who was
oh,
younger. So he ended up somehow looked at her one day, I don't know, and he was like 26 or 27 and she was 17. There was 10 years difference between them. But she kind of fell for him. She always thought he was a pretty cool guy, you know.
yeah. Well, he, like I said, a showman.
Yeah,
He could
in many
impress girls
ways.
with all his tricks.
Yeah, we have a picture when he was on stage too, playing the accordion. I think you probably saw that up in the hallway
I've
upstairs.
seen accordion photos for sure.
Right. But
Mhm.
he had this really cool outfit on, with the I don't know, they were like he looked like he was going to do a cha-cha or something. But
Ruffles and stuff.
I think it was what was the showdown? I think maybe they also had like a strip show or something. I don't know if that's where he was playing. I never did. They used to call it the Roxy. It was
These
downtown Cleveland.
eccentric
Yeah, yeah.
shows.
But he played accordion, I
Yeah.
think, there for a while. So he was on stage. He was
I
on
think we
stage.
joked maybe last time or just maybe in the conversation with us, it's funny that like it makes sense why you can't really get a word in edgewise with our family. It's like there are two accordions playing, there's probably a trumpet going, there's like singing.
And a dog howling.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Played
so
the, played the drum.
So far, the dogs are quiet, huh?
Yeah.
well, I don't know if you've been hearing me smack my bench underneath me to get Jeans to be quiet.
No, no. I didn't even know he's there. I thought he's sleeping like
He's
Marley over
sitting
here in the
right
road.
here.
There's Jeansy.
He says, I don't want to be on the camera.
Um,
Yeah,
no,
we're all animal lovers too. Uh,
yes.
in one way or another, I think everyone is, yeah.
Mhm.
Some have too many animals that they shouldn't, but we love our animals.
We used to have well, Tiffany has a farm now, but we used to have two lizards, two bunnies, three
Mm.
fish, a dog.
When we first
Right.
moved out to Homelo, we had
We
a
had
horse,
the horse, we had
two
chicken,
cows,
we had cow or
pigs,
pigs. Yeah.
one duck, one bunny.
And you had a
And
bunny.
then someone killed your duck.
And we think, no, not the duck. Was it the duck?
Was it Ginger?
The bunny died
No, I
Something
suddenly.
thought
happened.
Grandma like let your duck go or something.
Yeah, something happened.
I don't
I
remember
don't
the
know. I
duck.
could be making
I don't
that
know the
up.
duck story. Do you remember it?
His name was Angel.
His name was
The Angel, my
Angel.
rabbit Presley.
Presley was your
Presley, I
rabbit?
think so. I think Presley died in the grass, but something
We
it
think
ate, and then they made up some story about the dog killing it, and they didn't tell me or something, which is
we
fine.
didn't know because the dog was out there alone for a minute with the
What
We're
are
there
what are
with the
your pets' names that you remember and the animal? Like what was Presley?
horse, Rico's Hey Boy. The pigs we didn't name,
we called
but
them Ricky, the horse.
and we called him Ricky. Rico's Hey Boy was he was a thoroughbred quarter
Quarter
horse. I
horse.
don't know why us brand new farmers bought a thoroughbred. And then we had Buttons and Bandit with the cows. And we went to the fair that next year. I did not know the cows weren't coming back home.
Right, right.
Brad got reserve champion, I think, with Buttons.
Hmm.
And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cool. We have this famous cow now. And then he didn't come home. I didn't talk to Grandpa for a while. I mean, not that long, but so Buttons and Bandit were the cows. The duck was Angel. We had a cat named Snowball, the white one.
We had a couple cats, some barn
I don't
cats
remember the
that
barn cat. I didn't
come
name
over
them. But
sometimes.
Annie was a dog. Ginger was my childhood dog till I was 17. Then Annie.
Yeah,
Then we had,
roadkill Annie, we called
yes, we had Bernie.
Roadkill Annie.
her. She smelled all the time from things she would
Oh,
eat. Mm.
thought she kept getting hit by cars.
No,
I think my bunny was Presley. It was a white bunny.
gosh, I
I
can't.
just dabbled with all kinds of animals. I didn't name the chickens and stuff like everybody else
So
does.
funny.
That's when we knew your mother was going to be a nurse.
Yeah.
Yeah, when the sow we had started delivering, she'd come running in the house went under the sink and
Ooh,
looked for
boots.
these old rubber
Gloves.
gloves, these old heavy rubber gloves that you use when you're
When
Dad
who
took
was giving birth?
they said, Dad's the thing, the sacks aren't breaking. He needs my help. So I put my
oh,
boots
to
on.
For
sow.
what
The
animal?
Pig, a
pigs,
pig,
Oh,
they each had 11 pigs. And
piglets.
oh, you got little
they
piglets.
come out
Nice.
like kicking and stuff, but the
They
sacks
are
weren't breaking.
amazing, but
And I
they are
would break the
amazing.
sacks and they would just
They
pew,
went right to the
Why
run.
mother,
didn't you let
started
us get
nursing.
piglets?
I love
Oh,
little pigs.
it
Liv
was
wrote a little note from Oinkers, I believe it was, one Christmas, and she put it on your bathroom door that said, I'm waiting to get adopted. And then you gave us a bunny named Piglet.
Okay. They wanted a pig, a miniature pig, or
Yeah,
Yeah, that was so
but
cute.
she
And you
had,
wanted a monkey at one point, Mom.
I did.
how old were you when they were that you were
I was
pretty young.
9.
Yeah, she was pretty little.
They're about a
She
year.
jumped right in that pen with two sows.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they could have been protecting their young,
I
and
mean, they could have, yeah. I just we were like, what is she doing? And then we ran after
Dad
her.
told me he needed the help. I thought he was out there.
Am
I
I
said,
dumb? I didn't know a sow was a pig.
Yeah, that's the mother, the sow. Okay. And who was the father? I forget. I don't know. We used to know all those terms when we lived in the
but
farm.
we had a
Our
slop
farm out.
bucket in our kitchen. It was slop bucket.
Mhm.
We emptied all of our plates at the end of dinner,
Right,
eggshells,
anything. Like,
trimmings from what our grandma trimmed, veggies and stuff, and then we'd take it out every night to them, and they would just go to town. We just dump it
That's
over.
cool.
Yeah,
yeah, it was good. We didn't waste anything in those
yeah,
days.
for sure.
Now, are those the pigs that were on the pig roast?
No,
No,
Okay.
no.
what did we do? We
We'd
just
go to the
cooked it.
butcher and buy it or buy a pig from someone and have it done. Yeah.
And
And
Grandpa
now
came home one
Tiffany's
day.
got
Yeah.
goats and chickens and had
Yeah.
pigs and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
And Grandpa came home from work one day and said, I got a really good deal on this cow. We named her Betsy. And he got her out of the back of the truck. We were all like, oh my God, he got a cow. And she literally ran.
In circles. She was crooked.
She looked like Marley does now.
Yeah, she couldn't straighten out. Poor thing.
So they must have had him
The farmer
tied
took
up.
advantage of him
Yes. They
and
said, oh, that's
stole
the
him.
new farmer. He'll buy this cow for cheap.
What happened to
We got taken
Betsy?
on that
No
one.
idea what happened to Betsy.
I
If
think
it was
we,
Buttons and who?
Buttons and Bandit and Betsy. I guess
Okay.
it's
And
the
then
yeah,
three.
Betsy the
yeah.
crooked cow.
We called her.
She had some issues. I couldn't quite figure out what it was.
We
It was
called her
sad
several
though.
names. Yeah. We loved her for however long we had her.
Those were dairy farmers that,
Oh,
we
okay.
would buy a cow and then we would raise it for
You
meat.
know, that really tracks for our family. We get the runt of the litter for dogs. We get the weirdest dogs, the weirdest cows.
Yeah.
Right. And we still try to love
Speak
them.
for yourself. My dogs aren't weird.
Your dog is a lizard, part lizard.
True.
Oh my gosh. What's your other story, Mama?
Oh, what other story to have in
And whenever you want to go to the timeline of Grandpa, you
here?
switch gears. So
Just had a funny story with his old hunting buddy, Kenny.
Mm.
What was his last
And
name?
McKay.
Kenny McKay. They were getting ready to go hunting, and I was leaving to go somewhere, and they said, "Watch out! There's a lot of deers out there, a lot of deer out there." And I left the house, and no sooner went 1,000 feet maybe, and this deer came out of nowhere. I hit its butt on the driver's, like right in front of my car on the driver's side, so that its head came and bashed in my driver's side door, and then it ran a little bit, and I turned around and came home, and Kenny, unbeknownst to me, when I pulled in, goes, "Oh, who's the one-eyed bandit?" Because I didn't have one of my headlights. Told me later, and I opened my car door, and Grandpa goes, "You hit one, didn't you?" I said, "Yeah." And then "Are you okay?" "Oh, good, because we're gonna go find the deer." And
oh yeah.
I don't know if they found it or not.
I don't remember.
Mm,
We haven't had we used to have deer meat at Christmas, right?
I don't think so. Grandma,
On the charcuterie board, I thought from Ben.
Mm.
oh,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe from Ben. Yeah, the
Grandma used
sausage.
to cook it begrudgingly sometimes, maybe.
We usually gave it to Busha. She would cook everything. Yeah.
Wait, did Busha have to like take
Carrots
care of
and
like did she just get the deer and then she figured it out or did Grandpa
You probably got it
Prep
butchered.
it.
Yeah, it was
He
generally we got it butchered and a lot of deer venison, what do you call it?
venison.
Those
Yeah.
Oh,
stick
turkey.
jerky and stuff people liked and enjoyed, I guess. Not me. I didn't really
That's what
like any
Sweet
of it.
Sumac texted me and said, "Tell Uncle Stash he's got to pull through. You have a lot of
Jerky.
jerky for him." I
Yeah.
think it was deer jerky.
Yeah.
Um, so did Grandpa and Kenny go get the deer that you hit?
They went. I can't remember if they got it or not. I don't think they did. I think it was still running. They
Yeah.
thought for sure it would collapse. I don't know how it didn't, but I don't think they found it.
I want to hear your Sheranumbranum story.
Oh, that's
Adam,
we talked about that, didn't we?
We talked about it off camera.
Oh, okay. That was Grandpa's friend Adam. And why can't I remember Adam's last name? Um, anyway, he was from Poland, came over here and really didn't know any English or anything. I'm not sure how he got here with his parents, I guess. And he ended up working in a machine shop when Grandpa, one of his earlier jobs was a machine shop in Cleveland.
what was the name of it? You said
Um,
you said
you
sig
guys,
something.
yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of it. Ace, Ace Automatic
There you go.
was the name of the machine shop. And so poor Adam, Grandpa, I guess, was befriended him. They were, just enjoying each other. I guess they probably had a few beers here and there and after work and stuff like that. Um, and they were pretty young, both of them. And he used to come up to Grandpa in work and say, in Polish, what is this? He'd show him a hammer or something, and
Because
Grandpa
Grandpa
could say,
knew Polish a little bit.
right, he understood because his mother spoke Polish still, so he understood what he didn't speak it well, but he understood it. But he just started telling him crazy names for these tools. Like, I don't know what it was, maybe a screwdriver. He said that's a Sheranumbranum. And Adam would try to pronounce it, Sheran. Yeah, and then go up to another employee when he needed a Sheranumbranum for the job, bigger size.
So he
Poor
probably
kid.
repeated that to other people.
Yeah.
I don't know where that is.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, he just teased the heck out of the poor guy. But they still were really good friends for a long, long time.
And
Yeah.
a little tidbit about Grandpa that's always stuck with me. Well, he taught me na zdrowie, which is bless you. Dziękuję, just
Mhm,
thank you.
thank you.
Stara baba, old woman. Either Barajat or Starajat is old man. Daj mi buzi.
Give me a kiss. Yeah, he
That's what he
taught me
taught
that.
Grandma.
Yeah.
And then Busha used to read the Władamoszki Godziny,
Oh, very good.
which was I think it means the
Polish
daily,
newspaper.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Daily Times. And then Grandpa told her that it went out of business. And so he started buying her the English newspaper. And that's how she learned
Impressed.
English.
Right. And she would sit there. I recall when I first met her too, she'd be reading, trying to read the paper, and she'd ask me, what's this word? And you'd have to just say what it
Did
was
it
and
really go out of
explain it.
business, or did Grandpa just want to teach her
He-
English?
I don't think they did go out of
No,
business.
Grandpa said, I
No.
just told her they went out of business.
Yeah.
Gosh,
He
okay,
Because
so
she was
stopped
reading
picking up,
everything in Polish
yeah,
and that's how
he
she got
just
her
stopped picking
students.
up the Władamoszki Kuchini and then brought her the English newspaper.
Yeah. Quite a childhood. It sounded interesting. They had rough times after his father died.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he got through it all okay. So did Busha in a way. She was strong always, I think, kept a job always and
You be
still,
strong. You be
yeah, you
strong.
must be strong. Hmm. Yeah.
I know my mom wants to do her own timeline. She's got the dates of everything with Grandpa, so we want to get that on recording too. Um, just in terms of like, I know we
What
did the whole
happened?
episode
Yeah.
last time, but we'll do a little quick timeline for my mom.
yeah, I don't have it written down, but I'll do it in my memory. So April 5th was of 2026 was Easter, and that's very uh,
Symbolic.
symbolic in our
Mhm.
family with how they met and
Look, is
everything.
that my mom with the animals back there?
Yep, that's me with a goat.
Goats.
Okay, sorry.
So then we had a meeting set with the VA for April 6th to come in because Grandma, we always told Grandma, let us know if it's getting too hard. And she said, he's not eating. And I said, well, make sure you cut up his food well. And he's starting to cough a lot and he wasn't sleeping, had to go to the bathroom all the time, either one or two. So she did speak up and say, he's not sleeping well. There's, we need to check this out. So we had the VA coming on
Because it
Monday.
was hard to keep him in bed, right?
Yes, he was out of it a lot, but he was actually urinating because 3 years prior to this, he had a uh, impaction that he was not able to urinate either. So that's when I thought something's wrong.
Hmm.
But this time he was able to urinate, so I didn't even think impaction. So anyhow, they came the next day. I was at work. I told Uncle Brad and Uncle Brian, call me before they leave. I want to make sure they don't have any questions or I want to know what's going on. And I took a break when I thought it might be over and the meeting here. And I had a bunch of texts saying we called 911. They suggested to call 911 to get help fast because Dad won't get out of the bathroom.
And you were at
Uh,
work, you said, taking
I
a.
was at work, yeah.
Okay.
So I left shortly thereafter. I think I might have worked the rest of the day and met them at Akron General. And that was April 6th. And he spent the night in the ER. Finally got a room on
Oh,
April 8th.
yes. I remember that.
2 nights in a year.
2 nights in the
Yeah.
ER. So we got a room at say 4 p.m. on the 8th, and I said I want him at Edwin Shaw, and they said, well, it's not going to happen today, but I said, okay,
You
hang
said,
on.
okay,
Yeah, and I found
watch
out
me.
the discharge planner happened to be walking in the room. She goes, I'm going to call them right now. Boom, boom, boom. We went to Edwin Shaw and that night around 7 p.m. They had a bed. So that was April 8th, and then he was doing okay in rehab.
Hmm.
He kept wanting to go home, wanting to go home, wanting to go home, and he just was pushing for grandma, I think mainly. Or like, Dad, we just need to get you stronger to take you home because mom can't handle it right now. Even if one of us is there, it's getting kind of hard. Even with I forgot the caretaker's name, Leah,
Leah.
with Leah's
Hmm.
help. So he was doing rehab at Edwin Shaw, and then I called the nurse in the one day and I said, does his breathing look different to you? And she said, yeah, it kind of does. So she ordered an x-ray and he had all this fluid. And they found at Akron General when he was in the ER aspiration pneumonia, which is why he was
Coughing.
coughing when he ate. And then there was a mass, and they said, well, we're going to biopsy that and stage it and everything. We are assuming it's cancer. I said, hold on. We're not going to do all of that if it's cancer. We'll do a follow-up CAT scan in a few weeks and see if it's still there. And they said, okay. So that was scheduled for May 22nd. So fast forward to Edwin Shaw. He got a little bit more short of breath there after the Akron General. No real shortness of breath there.
Hmm.
So they did an x-ray and it was just his whole right side was full of fluid. It's called a pleural effusion, a large right pleural effusion. And then is when I thought it probably is cancer because that's really
Because it had.
just the all of a sudden this fluid is kind of a
Okay.
cancer filled is what I was suspecting. So they put him on Lasix and all that. And then it got bad enough where they said we should probably try to get some of this removed. So,
His
and
breathing was
The
getting.
fluid
yes,
removed.
yes, it was getting worse. If they did another x-ray, probably would have been kind of a whiteout, which was kind of a whiteout anyways. And on an x-ray, that's never good. It should be like black, which means clear.
Hmm.
And it was all whited out from fluid. And then during his exercises, his oxygenation was dropping and he just couldn't tolerate it. He kept having to
Hmm.
stop. And I thought, what the heck? So on April 20th, they discharged him from Edwin Shaw, and he was due to leave Edwin Shaw on April 23rd. That was the date we had in our head. Grandma had
And
in her.
written on the board.
Yes,
Hmm.
discharged tentatively, 423. So on 420, we went to Medina, and they were going to tap his lung. I said, we're going to do this one
Yeah,
time
why did you transfer to Medina?
because they don't do that kind of stuff at Edwin Shaw. They put
To
in
remove the fluid.
yeah. And then they wanted to keep him overnight for observation after that. And I said, well, we'll be back. We're not going to leave here till April 23rd. So we got to Medina and then it was a big fiasco. We never even really talked about that. how the ER doc said, I haven't done this in a long time. We want to
Yeah.
let the professionals do it. They just left. And I said, listen, we came here to get his lung tapped one time. I just for comfort. I want it done today. And he ended up doing it. He did a great job,
Yeah.
thankfully. And then we had to step out and they took 1100 cc's out of his right lung and it was like a uh, red wine color, which is
Bloody.
also indicative of cancer.
Hmm.
So we came back in the room and Grandma said, how was it? Was it bad? And Grandpa said, was what bad? It's one thing about Alzheimer's is you don't remember things short term.
He's a tough cookie too.
He looked better. He looked less short of breath. His
Mhm.
oxygenation was at 98%. Prior to that, on 4 liters of oxygen, he was at 92, 93, which should be way higher than that. So then he didn't leave there until the 21st,
No, wait, he stayed in Medina.
till the
Okay,
22nd.
right.
So I went there on the 21st after work, and worked out so magically because we were very light, as far as patient load, and I was able to leave after half a day. And I thought it was walking into Medina. It had been not even 24 hours since we got his lung tapped, and I thought to myself, this is a huge day. We're going to see how he's doing because he was wheezing and all that with all the fluid before he got it removed. And I walked in his room and I knew his lungs were filling up again. He was wheezing. Grandma was right there, and I said, I don't like his breathing. I said, I think it's time to take him home on hospice. And she said, I think you're right. And all Grandpa wanted to do was go home. So we decided to take him home. And then by the time it was the next day, but that
Next
night,
morning,
the
yeah.
night of the 21st, I FaceTimed Uncle Brad and Uncle Brian at 4 p.m., 3 p.m., somewhere around there. I said, it's not looking good. You guys might want to come here. And then Uncle Brad showed up around 4, and Grandpa was not doing well at all until literally he walked in the room and he goes, hey, Brad, how are you? And I looked at Uncle Brad and he just started laughing. And I said, well,
You're like, I
obviously,
wasn't lying.
this is a change. And I said, ask Mom, she was here. So then he didn't eat much. We just talked about that today. He ate a couple bites of soup, which he was not eating anything, but we were getting him pulp smoothies with a dose of protein. Uncle Brad was having them add, and he sucked them down until he didn't. And I
Hmm.
thought, oh, it's backing up. So we decided on hospice, and the transport was coming at 11 a.m. on 4/22. And I got there about 9 the next morning, and they had started to give him the Haldol, the Ativan, and all that because he was kind of on hospice at the hospital, and he was out. He was snoring pretty consistently, not any not breathing episodes. So, but I did go out in the hallway and I said, we need to rush this transport. I need to get him home. So instead of at 11 a.m., they came at 10:45, which they wouldn't have probably come till noon, knowing a hospital. So Grandma was
They
out
knew
getting,
they were dealing with Meg, Sir
yeah,
Lewis.
yeah.
Mhm.
Grandma was out getting his meds because they told me I can get him at the Medina pharmacy. And then they said, no, we sent him to their pharmacy. So I said, Grandma or Mom, go get that. And the ambulance came and I beat them here, moved the kitchen table back. They brought him in. Uncle Brad was here. We bought that digital frame for Grandpa that he never really got to see, but boy, we're enjoying it now. He
Hmm.
had that to set up so he could just gaze at pictures. And they put him in the chair right behind me here,
Hmm.
his chair, and left. And Grandma came home. I moved the table back and everything from the front door, and Grandma came home and she's like, "Oh my gosh, I did a little grocery shopping." I said, "Oh," I said, "Dad's right there." And she
At
goes,
the drugstore
"He's
while I
home."
was waiting for the
Yeah.
prescription.
He's home already. I said, "Yeah, he's
Yeah.
right there." So he was snoring away, and then Emily was there the night before. Yeah, so I'm glad she got to come into town, and he was razzing her like she was. He told her to leave. She's sitting outside the hospital room. He goes, Emmy, I can still see you out there. So that was super funny, but it was a little hard at the end because we tossed around the idea of letting him wake up and maybe have some lucid moments with Grandma, and we decided to try that. And hospice was here at 11 a.m. and they left at 1 p.m. on 4/22/26. So he's officially admitted at home hospice at 1 p.m. And around 2 o'clock, he started waking up and yelling Ma, Pa, and what sounded like Mary, which later we think is probably Marley.
Monpar, his mother and stepfather,
Parents.
right?
Yes. Yeah.
And Mary was his sister.
But Marley is what he was saying. Yeah.
And then Mary Marley kind of mixed into one.
Right. So at one point I was, Emily made a chart for me and I was keeping tabs on exactly what I was giving Grandpa, and I didn't want to give anything early. It was morphine, Haldol, and Ativan. It's big time stuff. I had it at, my fingertips. So at about 6:45, I called hospice and said, I can't get ahead of it. His restlessness, he's yelling out. It's hard. I don't want to give him anything early. I said, but there is a Haldol dose that's 5 times what I was giving. It's 2.5 cc's instead of a half a cc. And she said on the phone, oh, is that him yelling in the background? I said, yeah, that's the problem. So she was kind of shocked after all the medicine that we already gave. So I gave it 2.5 cc's of Haldol, and that did the trick. I gave him another dose of morphine. We had Grandpa in between us. I was on the couch. Grandma was right beside him. She went to bed 11.
After everybody had gone, there were
Yeah, there was
people in
also
line.
people, Nick and Bettina, Lisa, everybody was here. Diane,
Wolfgang and
Renee.
Sophie, Jesse, Mike.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, the kids were so well behaved and respectful. And so Grandma went to bed, and I told her what the breathing was going to look like at the end. It's hard to explain, but it's different. Comes in stages, and we missed all that. I went to sleep with him snoring and woke up about 12:19, and several of the family members woke up at the
I
same.
woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
yeah,
And he
Jesse.
wasn't
Me and
snoring.
Jesse woke up.
I went over to him and he went, and that was it.
And then you call for grandma.
Yeah, so I ran over to the stairs. I didn't want to be like, Mom. So I ran halfway up the stairs. I said, Mom, it's time. And she came down. And right before Grandma went to bed, she kissed him on the forehead and said,
Mhm.
go with God. And that's exactly what she said to Matthew after he had just passed away, was kissed him on the forehead and said, go with God, go to God. And then
Yeah.
she said it to Grandpa too. And he did. He listened to her. So
Well, I just want to point out that you guys are talking about this. We're a lot stronger. And
I
like
can't believe I didn't cry.
grief is
Are you
a,
crying?
No, I'm
Oh.
just remembering it is
I
hard.
just wanted
It's
to
been a
thank you for letting me
yeah.
get it out. But
yeah.
Well, just speaking of Wolfgang and Sophie, Grandma, I didn't know if you wanted to share your moment that you had with Sophie um, recently when she was asking you if you miss Grandpa, I meant.
Yeah, they were over here for just a little while
Aw.
last week and just goofing around. They wanted to go outside. They didn't want them to go outside. Jess and Mike stopped because they had an open house. They're trying to sell their house, which they did, I guess. So then I said, well, just leave the kids here. You can go back. And so they had already had a little dinner and stuff. And then when everybody left, and I don't know what they were doing, and I said, just sit down. Let's play checkers or something. And Sophie just looked at me. She says, do you miss Grandpa? Just the
Aw.
way she said it. I was like, oh, of course I do. I said, you miss him too? She goes, yeah. It was just a
She
moment.
slept with something of his on.
Oh, she loves his the
Sweatpants.
hospital socks that they gave.
She's like,
We
didn't
have
take
tons
them
of
off.
them
She
from
said,
all.
I have a pair.
Do you-
I just took her some more over.
Some clean ones because she hasn't taken
So
them off
cute.
since April 23rd.
That's so
Yeah,
cute.
and so I gave them each one of Grandpa's hats to take home because I think it was the day before the fourth, or a couple days before the 4th of July. You can wear these. They were army hats or something, kind of corny ones that he had, but they put them on and went home with them.
Jake has had Grandpa's iconic flag shirt
I
on.
know that shirt. Oh my gosh.
And then I sent Jake a picture of him and Grandpa. They're on pool chairs and they're both
Oh, I was
like
gonna
this.
say, who sent me that?
I think I sent it in the
I thought Jake's.
one with me, you, Jake, Liv, and Kara, that group chat. I don't want to say the name. Um, and Grandma just celebrated her 66th anniversary with Grandpa.
Heavenly anniversary, I'm gonna call
Heavenly
them that.
anniversary.
I took some flowers from the yard.
Yes. So now Jake has that American flag shirt, and he was wearing that this 4th of
And
July.
that's from
So,
the Olympics. Uncle Brad brought that home
I didn't know that.
from I forget, Summer Olympics or something
hmm,
that where that shirt got
Huh.
years and years. I mean, because he wore it every
every
holiday.
year.
Yeah, every year. Got tired of
Yeah.
looking at it, but we kept that shirt always ready, for
Remember
the
once a
holiday.
year?
But you picked flowers from outside, you were saying?
Yeah, just I went outside. I thought I'm
In the
gonna go to
heat
the
wave, by the way.
cemetery.
Heat wave of
Yeah,
2026. Holy
for
moly.
sure. It's still humid out there in the 90s. But I thought I'll go outside and just if I could just find a pretty rose or maybe two roses, one for each of us to have our anniversary. Uh, I'm not a cemetery person, but I find myself kind of wanting to go there. It's different now.
Yeah.
I don't
Mm,
know
yeah.
why. But so I had a little plastic cup and I wrapped a napkin around it and or no, a paper bag around it. And I couldn't find a rose outside. They
Because
were
they were
they were all
overheating.
they
Oh,
were a mess. They all fell apart every time I was thinking maybe I could cut this one. So I just found some other flowers, a little bouquet, and put them in, and then I wrote on the bag, I love you and I miss you or something, and put a bunch of X's and zeros on because that's how he when he would write me letters years ago when it all began. He always had all these X's and O's, and so did I. It was like because we
mm.
didn't see each other, we got a kiss and hug
You
that
were
way.
smitten.
Smitten. I
And those are
was.
your bedtime stories now, his love letters.
You finished them and she restarted them.
I
I
did.
would too.
I
So
did.
keep doing it.
Yeah.
Maybe
Um.
we should like start with a prayer and end. Well, maybe that's too personal for you, but
What? End with
like
the love
reading a love
letter.
letter at the end.
Oh my gosh. Should I
But
go get one?
if it's too personal, I want you to keep it close to
No,
your heart if that's what you want.
no. They really aren't they were personal at the time, but right now they're just history, I think. And a
Mom,
lot of
you go grab one.
she's gonna go get Marley too. He's howling because I think, yeah,
We need to show Marley on camera too.
okay. Why don't you, why don't you go upstairs and just grab a letter that says to Carol Novak?
Okay. Here, put it really on the screen.
I remember
Here's Marley.
this is Marley.
Oh my
Poor
goodness.
old
Gracious.
Marley. Who's that? Is that Lexi? You know that,
I
Lex.
am your favorite cousin,
Yeah.
sister, whatever
Probably
you
a few
call me.
people who still love you, old man.
Yes, me and
Yeah.
Bettina are your biggest fans
Right.
forever.
Your mother's good with him too.
Yes, true. Very
Yeah.
true.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
were these letters like army days, even after army days?
Um, yeah, generally we wrote the most letters once he left.
Yeah.
They had a party for him. I remember, and we had broken up. And in one of the letters, he even said, "The reason I left is because maybe you could make up your mind." I was
Wait,
always
because of
like,
Eddie.
oh yeah. In one letter, he even talked about Eddie. If that was Eddie, I would have came home. Somebody picked me up. It was Adam that actually picked me up, and I told them in a letter. And then he said if it was Eddie, I was gonna get home and punch him out or something.
Wait, because you had gotten a ride home from Eddie, you said?
Yeah,
Oh,
no, I got it right home from Adam. We call him
Adam.
Random
Random
Brandon.
Brandon Man,
Random random Adam.
who is deceased now too, poor guy.
But the funny thing about Eddie, before you read that, is right after Grandpa died, speaking of the trunk that I was going
Right.
through, I was bawling my eyes out reading this love letter. I was like, oh my gosh,
Oh,
this
yeah.
is so cute. Oh my gosh. Got to like the third page and it says love Eddie. And I was like, you just cried about this for Eddie.
And the irony about the
Eddie did love me.
I know, but I thought it was Grandpa and I was just mourning Grandpa's words. And then I got to love Eddie. And I was like, what the heck?
Grandpa's words are pretty good too.
and the irony about the whole Edwin Shaw April 23rd fixation that's actually the day he passed away. So
Yes.
which was
Yeah, yeah.
So we will end with this love letter, but I appreciate Mom
It's
for
pretty
coming
long.
on.
Put on both. Oh no, he didn't write
thank
on
you.
both sides.
And again, whoever else wants to come on this podcast, please reach out to me or Carol or even my mom, and we will set you up on this to tell stories it doesn't have to be about grandpa, it can be about anybody, and just to keep our family stories alive.
This one is from April 11th, 1962. I think I was pregnant with Brian.
Yes, you were.
When I had a miscarriage when I was in the Army hospital, my first pregnancy, which was only like 2.5 months along or something, but I didn't have a good experience. And I just talked to Anita about that. She goes, I didn't either.
With what?
In the Army hospital.
Oh.
At that time, I don't know, they
Did
didn't
she have a
treat
miscarriage
you.
too, like a similar experience
She
together, or?
was there to have a baby, I believe.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, and it's funny because even in this letter he talks about Rich. Rich was Anita's husband who passed away,
I
but
thought we were talking, that's Juanita. Never mind.
during
Oh, yeah.
no, this is
Anita.
Anita Tracy, Rich and Anita Tracy, who he was called back to the army when there was all the Cuban crisis and everything going on. He was in the army, served his time, and they called him back. So they ended up in Fort Bragg in North Carolina with us for a while.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Hold your baby.
All right. Close us out, Grandma.
Okay. He said, Hi, honey. This is Wednesday, 4 o'clock, April 11th, 1962. I just woke up from a nap of about 3.5 hours, and the first thing that popped into my mind was you. So I decided I'd better answer your letter. Well, Rich was down here Sunday, and I went over his house. And, hon, if anything, I got more depressed than I've been since I left. Just seeing the apartment and Rich playing around with Nita, kissing, etc., made me think even more about you. Anyway, we drank beer all day and worked on Rich's car. And boy, was I getting looped. Then everybody said that I should pick up the phone and tell you to come back, that I never should have sent you home in the first place. But I argued with them, very weakly though. And hon, I almost called you about 5 times to come back to me, but I guess I chickened out. I finally told Rich that the only way I'd bring you down was if you wanted to be here no other way. Honey, now I'm not saying that I want you to come back because I know you don't want to, and that we have our reasons. I just told him that so he wouldn't harass me. I guess I'll have to go there less if I don't want to get homesick. Now I know why Jerry stopped coming over. I'm not sure. Oh, this is another friend that was in the apartments where we lived. I keep telling myself that all this is going to be worthwhile. Sometimes I convince myself that it is, and other times I just want to be with you and take care of you myself. It's one big fight that goes around in my head. Well, here I am again, telling you all my troubles after I promised not to talk about it again. I guess I'll fight it out, but hon, it's going to be rough on both of us. Honey, from now on, you better watch out how you run around when you're late for something. If you're late, you're late. That's all there is to it. Would if you had an accident, huh? Listen, lady, exclamation marks. I think I had spun out with my
I was gonna
car.
say something happened.
Watch yourself, okay? I will tell you to come, or I will tell you to come back here, and I mean it. You're home to take it easy and not worry about anything. And from your letters, it seems all you do is run, run, run. So please, honey, slow down and take things slow, okay? I guess I'm a little mad at you now, but honey, I always worry about you. So please listen to me and don't rush here or there. Take your time, okay? Promise? Well, tomorrow is our company party, and I'll probably get shot down, but not before I have my steak dinner. Ha ha. I was hoping I'd get your letter today so I could answer it right away because the party starts at 5 o'clock and I probably couldn't even see to write later on that night anyway. And you know how sexy I get when I had liquor. Ha ha. So you had some, oh, this gets a little touchy. So you had some sexy dreams too, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you ain't the only one. If I tell you about them and how I feel when I go to bed, this paper would turn brown from the heat. But I'm not saying anything about it because I start getting ideas like, come back here. Haha. I'll just have to show you when I get home, okay? Now there's something for you to think about, huh? Makes you wish we were together again, huh? Question mark. Honey, I'll admit that I want you to be with me. I'm all confused. I can't seem to think straight. So guess I better close for now so I can think things out. So answer soon, and I love you very much. Love, Stash.
You guys were apart.
This was,
You
yeah,
said he came home for Brian's birth. So yeah.
right. I was probably home for a good 5 months without him, but I think he did make it home like once in between there too. So it wasn't horrible, but at the same time, it was hard, you know. Later on, he starts calling me mommy, and I was calling him daddy when I answered him and stuff, and tell him how fat I was getting.
But he made it home for his birth, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. He was home like a week before. He was there when I started labor and took me to the
Nice.
hospital, and yeah, that was all good. And then when he was only like a week old, he had to go back for another month. And then I had to wait that month. Yeah, that's when I bleached my hair. He would always do a double take when a gorgeous blonde would walk by. So I thought, I'm gonna have blonde hair when he comes home.
I
He's
gotta do
sitting at the
that as
bus
well.
stop. Yeah, he came home on the bus and walked right by me and the baby, holding Brian in my arms.
I want to see you with blonde hair.
Yeah,
Well, that was a great
anyway.
letter to close us out. And I think even with the sexy parts, that's
Yeah.
just a demonstration of
Married.
how in love you guys were. So,
Right, right.
but
Love is good. Thank God
well,
for people in our lives that make us feel loved, which you guys still are doing, and all of our family in so many ways.
yes.
So,
Well, I love both of you guys very much.
Love you too, honey. Thanks for
And
doing this.
we
yeah.
will
One
talk.
closing prayer, please.
Yes, yes.
Just ask Jesus to bless those who don't have love in their lives, who are feeling alone and sad, and uh, be with them, Lord. We know that you are the greatest love. Uh, you those in most need of your mercy, those in most need of your love, those in most need of food or hunger or whatever it is, just fill them, Lord. Give them help that they need. We love you. Amen.
Mhm.
Amen. All right, ladies. XOXO.
XOXO.
XOXOXO.